Are we all ready to start? Most importantly, the chefs on stage today, we have we have Olivia and Sunita. Are we all ready?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's start. All right, good morning to everyone who is in our Zoom this morning. Appreciate your precious time with us. I know Saturday is a precious time with your family, and because you take time to be here with us, we are really grateful for your presence this morning. Okay. For some, I think you are users. For some, probably it's your first time looking into what exactly the Thermomix is, right? So for those who are new, your first time with us today, could you just type first time in the chat that we know how many of you are new, and we could also be sharing further details pertaining to the Thermomix demo, Thermomix functions with you today. Can you do that for us? Just put yourself as first timers, just put first time. Okay? All right. Okay, Grace, Madam Shao, Paul, and Jasmine. Great. Good to see all of you here with us. We will try as much as possible to give you all the information that we can about the Thermomix, how it's able to help you with your daily cookings. And nevertheless, if you do have questions along the way, just feel free to type it in the chat room. If we couldn't have time to address it during this Zoom, be rest assured we will come back to your questions, and we will definitely be sending and sharing your details to your inquiries after the session as well. Okay. All right. So my name is Ping Ping. Together with the team, Sunita, Esdreen, and Olivia, we're going to share some recipes with you how we're using the Thermomix at home, helping us with our daily cooking needs, be it breakfast, lunch, dinner, tea time, brunch, and even supper. Right now, everyone is at home, so we do make quite a number of meals at home every day. So today, it's your first Thermomix cooking journey, and I'd like to congratulate you to be here to start your journey with us. So I think at the moment now, a lot of us, in fact, all of us, do agree that cooking at home is very, very important. Now, there's no doubt about that now, right? And when we do cooking at home, there are a few things that we would emphasize on for you. What could be important for you? So, for example, money saving. Is money saving important? For me, yes, because I have been enjoying good quality meals that I could have in restaurant now. I can bring that quality meals at home. And if you can do that, wouldn't it be wonderful? Would you like that? Yeah. So, and the things like reliably easy recipe. When we do cook at home, we want recipes that we can easily comprehend, ingredients that we can easily source for, and make it quick at home. And Thermomix is going to do for you exactly that, okay? The other thing is healthy. Yeah, talking about now, there is nothing more that beats this. And healthy is the main thing that we all look out for, meaning, cooking in a hygienic way, cooking in a way that we do have quality nutrients in our food. And more importantly, we would put in all the good stuff in our home cooking. We know what's inside, and leave all the no-nos outside as much as possible, like MSG, like preservatives, like artificial coloring, flavoring, you name it, it's all out there. So for home cooking, we do omit all this and give our best, the best for our family and loved ones. So that's healthy cooking, and we could actually do that with the Thermomix. Creative cooking, this is what we call daily challenge for myself. I'm sure all of you would be going through this every day as well, thinking about what to eat, thinking about what to prepare for breakfast, what to prepare for lunch. Well, 3 meals, 5 meals a day can be very challenging, right? And when we talk about creative cooking in Thermomix, we have a platform, a library of 67,000 recipes. You hear me correctly? It's 67,000. Endless exploration for you and the family for a long time. It lasts for a lifetime. We'd like to see if anyone um, accidentally unmute your microphone. Do help us to unmute to mute it, because then everyone would be able to receive a clearer transmission. Okay. So when we talk about creating, we have recipes ranging from Asian recipes, whether you want Chinese, Malay, Indian, or even very specific like Indonesian. It's all there. And then you want Western, French, Italian. It is all there for you to explore. So you do not need to travel out. You can be in the comfort of your home and you can recreate all these recipes yourself. Okay. And then time saving, of course, is very important, where we are all very challenged, locked down at home, having to do multiple tasks, whether it's children, adults, we have to work from home, handle kids, handle the household. It's a lot of work in hand. Yeah. So if we can do cooking in a short time, in a time-saving manner, that is, of course, something that we all be eyeing for. Okay. All right. So Thermomix, a bit about ourselves, just to share this background with you. I want to assure you that when you start to use the Thermomix, we will walk through the journey. We will be there to support you from the beginning until 10, 20 years later. Why? Because we are a company who has been around for 130 years. So very long established. We have presence in 80 countries worldwide. And we want to share with you that when you get your Thermomix, there will be spare parts and service that you can rely on for a lifetime. Okay. So this is the multiple awards that we have accumulated over the years. These are international awards. Okay. And personal kitchen appliance assistant since 1960s. So a lot of us may be inquiring, hey, actually, when is the first Thermomix invented? Is it something new? I'd like to share this piece of news with you. Thermomix, the first version was out since 1960. 1960, and it has evolved. You could look at the multiple versions. Until now, the latest is 2019, the TM6. So, and over the time, it has incorporated a lot of useful functions for household. Now, in fact, it's even useful for professionals, cooking professionals in the restaurants. And over the years till now, we have been the best and the top all-in-one kitchen machine in the world. Okay? Every 23 seconds now, every household hop on the Thermomix and start to use it and start to embrace it in their kitchen. Okay, so this is how fast we've been growing. Okay, discovering the Thermomix. The top is the barometer, it's the steamer, and then moving here, it's a 3.3 liter steamer. We can show you later on the actual accessory that comes with it. And then there is something called the splash guard. This is good for high temperature cooking because TM6 has high temp, meaning you could do 170 degrees cooking. Sometimes with that temperature, when you do it on the wall, can you imagine it will start to splatter? So the splash guard will prevent splattering by having this on top of the lid, okay? And there's also something called the MC cup. Okay, the MC cup is to cover the top lid. There's a hole on the lid, cover it. MC cup also acts as a measuring cup, 50 ml and 100 ml for convenience, okay? And moving downwards, it is a simmering basket for simmering small amount of food, or if you like to steam small amount of food, instead of going for 3.3 liter size steaming, you can use this little steamer to steam as well. And within here, what is holding the simmering basket is what we call the TM bowl. So 2.2 liter in size, made of high quality stainless steel from Germany. And you could see inside as well, there is a plate that is built in together. You could actually remove it to clean very easily. So you could actually take out the blade. This is what I love best about Thermomix. You could actually clean all the way to the inside. So one Thermomix, caters to all your kitchen needs. Whether you want to make smoothie, you want to make curry, you could rely on this because stainless steel, the best part is they do not absorb smell, and you could actually clean it all the way thoroughly as well. Okay? It is also dishwasher proof if you happen to have dishwasher at home. And of course, what a lot of people eye on the Thermomix, it is the touchscreen, which is colored touchscreen, sizable enough to control, very attractive, whether it's for adults or children as well. The main thing, it is the technology, the high quality German motor, and the speed of our motor goes up to 10,700 rotations per minute. It is equivalent to when you drive a car, the speed of 250 kilometers per hour. So it is really very, very fast and very powerful. The best part about this technology, the German technology Thermomix motor, it is also a frictionless technology motor, meaning there is no friction when it is blending. Thereby, there is no heat that is generated, and you could blend and blend over time. You do not even need to wait. There is no overheating of motor that will happen. Okay, so this is the key thing. To own the Thermomix, you have three ways. Either you go for a full payment. It's 7188. We do have a 200 ringgit voucher that is still running now when you purchase now. So bringing the price to 6988. There is also a financing option up to 24 months, making it affordable for every household. So it works out to 9 ringgit a day. If you're talking about monthly basis, it's about 290 ringgit a month for the whole family, okay? The last option, join us for free. This is where you have interest to be a working partner like us. You could actually explore this with your advisor who invites you here today, and you could join us as a working partner where you can earn a free Thermomix. Okay? All right, one Thermomix does it all. What does this mean? A lot of times you may see that your friends who own the Thermomix, they start to whip out multiple recipes in the kitchen, right? So it can be from ranging from baking to daily cooking to savory product produce and things like that. So if you need a blender, remember, the Thermomix is also your blender. If you need to steam, it is also your steamer. All right. If you want to emulsify, meaning making mayonnaise, it is also your emulsifier. Okay. So if you love tiramisu like Sabayon, you can also make very good quality tiramisu. And stirring, it stirs for you. It is also your pot. It is also your pestle and mortar because it blends for you. It is also your wok because it also cooks for you. So can you imagine if you want to make bread, it is also your bread maker. If you want to make juice, it's also your smoothie maker. Can you imagine before you found the Thermomix, what are the things that you have in the kitchen? I used to have multiple appliances, at least 6, 7, 8 appliances, right? And after a while, we felt that, hey, we can't simply, can you take all these appliances and put them on the kitchen top? Impossible. It will be very messy. First of all. Second thing is, there's a lot of dusting and cleaning to do every day. It's too much work. So we tend to keep, because we don't use them every day. For example, if you're not a baker, you have a cake mixer, of course, and a weighing scale, you wouldn't be putting them on the kitchen top, right? Unless when you need it, then you will bring it up. Okay, but for Thermomix, it is all in one. The difference is it's just like the analogy of when smartphone was created. Before smartphone, you had camera, you had your notebook, you had your Walkman. Now, where were all these? These are all kept because now we have a very useful device called the smartphone. So the Thermomix is our smart kitchen. All right, so all in one. You'll never have a chance to keep it because when you make your breakfast, you depend on it. You want to make your cake, it will still be back to your Thermomix, and you're going to make your bread, your ice cream, it is still back to your Thermomix. And the best part is, after doing all those, the only thing you need to clean is your Thermomix bowl, and that's it. All right, so it saves a lot of space, it saves a lot of time. All right, so a perfect kitchen partner for everyone, whether you're making a small portion for a single person, or if you're starting a family, it is in fact the best thing to start with. When the family expands, babies becomes baby food processor, babies grow up, children, you want a variety. It's your cookie maker, it's your cake mixer, it is your dough maker for your bread, it's your ice cream maker as well. Okay, so it expands with the family. For elderly, for those who are in the golden years, it's the best. You want to cook and you still want a way that you could be relaxed and while you cook, right? So the Thermomix will give you the best and also enable you to follow a good quality diet at home. Okay, so we will start here. I want to share with you. In Thermomix later, you will see we have actually two ways of cooking. The first way is what we call manual cooking. The second way, it is cookie do guided cooking. So manual cooking are good for people who has been cooking for some years. You have recipes in your mind, recipes in hand that you inherited from your mom, your grandparents. You can actually use those recipes in the Thermomix. You just need to know where the functions are, and that's it. And you can recreate it here, okay? The second way of cooking, it is with cookie do, which means you're trying out recipe using guided cooking function. Guided cooking is useful for people who are trying out recipes for the first time or you're new in cooking. So when you use guided recipe, it is in fact 99%, 100% tested. 99%, what I mean is maybe sometimes you like it sweeter, you like it saltier, you could still adjust it according to your taste. All right, so the guided cooking will bring you to 0 to hero, okay, in the kitchen. All right, so I'd like to show you the screen a little bit so that later it's easy for you to comprehend the cooking methods that we'll be sharing. So this is the home screen, okay, and we have 3 circles. It's kind of a very light, right? So we have 3 circles. Okay, the first circle is a time. Second circle is the temperature. Temperature meaning you would want to cook at certain heat, okay? So it ranges from 0 all the way to 120 and then aroma. All right? So the third, it is the speed, representing the stirring speed of your hand. So there's 3 simple things to set in every recipe, whether you want time, temperature, or speed. And there is also, if you're going for manual cooking, the functions that you need, for example, weighing scale, dough, turbo, pre-clean, blend, they're all here. Now, if you're going for guided cooking, for example, you could actually scroll to the other side and look. Wow, the screen is actually a colored screen. This is now bringing you online, where you could now access to the 67,000 recipes. Okay, so an example of guided recipes, which I downloaded here, you could actually download them as well. And let's say I create my own baking, apple crumble cake, and it will give you the step-by-step. See? It gives you the step-by-step way, insert measuring cup, it's just to give you an idea of what guided cooking is. All right. So without further ado, I would wish to start some cooking with everyone. We would welcome our first chef of the day, which is Olivia. She's going to teach you a wonderful dessert. All right. Okay. So I will pass the screen to Olivia.
Hello everyone, I'm Olivia. Good morning to you. So today I'll be sharing my first recipe. Okay, so before I start sharing this recipe, okay, do you like ice cream or ice kacang for those who are locals? Okay, can you type in the group chat who likes ice cream and who likes ice kacang? Okay, let's see how many people likes ice cream and ice kacang. Okay. But have you made your own ice cream and ice kacang at home? Okay, so with the Thermomix, there are a lot of functions, and one of the functions is that you can actually make your own homemade ice cream. Okay, so today I won't be making ice cream, but I'll be making something very similar to ice cream. Okay, so I'm going to share this recipe. It's called the Taiwanese peanut crushed ice. Okay, so I'm going to place in ice cubes. Okay, so I've already made ice cubes here, and I'm going to blend the ice cubes till it's very, very fine. Okay, so I'm going to go 15 minutes at speed 10. So the speed control, you can control from the lowest speed to the highest speed. So the higher the number, the faster the blade will rotate. So on speed 10, it's the fastest speed, so it's going to be very powerful. It's going to be loud. Okay, are you ready? Right? 15 seconds. I know you can't wait to see what is inside the mixing bowl. Okay, so I'm just going to scrape down the sides of the bowl. Hey, wow, can you see? Can you look at that? So in just 15 seconds, the ice cubes turned into fluffy ice shaving, just like making your own homemade ice kacang, your cendol and all. So now at home, you can also make your own, okay? All right. And next, I'm going to add in some peanut butter. Okay, so I have some peanut butter here. This is homemade peanut butter, and I've made it with the Thermomix. So when you get your Thermomix, or those of you who have already owned your Thermomix, make sure you try to make your own homemade peanut butter because it's only 1 minute to make your own homemade butter. So other than peanut butter, you can even make cashew nut butter for those of you who are allergic to peanut butter. And you can even make your own hazelnut spread and Nutella. Okay, so for those of you who have children who love to eat Nutella, so this is something you must try, okay? So next, I'm going to blend for 20 seconds at speed 10. So I prepared two lovely dessert bowls here. So I'm going to place in my shaved ice in here. Oh, look at that. So when you have friends over, you know, for your family and all, you can actually make this and it's really fast. It's so fine, so you can even use the the ice shaving for your ice kacang in your chendol. And on top of that, I'm going to drizzle some condensed milk right on top here. Wow, look at that. Okay, and you can even top up with more ice shaving if you want. Just going to drizzle a bit here. Okay, I'm going to top up a bit more. Okay, so I just made it in less than a minute. Okay, so I hope you'll try this recipe when you get your Thermomix. And when we talk about ice cream, okay, of course, children, even us as adults, we love ice cream. Okay? So when you have, say, frozen fruits at home, all you need is frozen strawberries, or even you can do it with pineapple. Sometimes we have leftover bananas. So what I do is I always have frozen fruits in my freezer. So what you do is when you have leftover bananas, just cut it in half and place it in Ziploc bags like these. And then you need about 500 grams of mixed fruits, and it only takes a minute to make homemade ice cream. Okay? And this homemade ice cream is without cream, without any sugar, without any milk. It's only 100% natural fruits. Okay, so in Cookie Dough, just now what Ping explained, we have a lot of recipes to make your own homemade ice cream. You can make chocolate ice cream. You want to have rum and raisin. All these ice cream, all the recipes are in Cookie Dough. Okay. And why do we want to make our own homemade ice cream? Okay? Because commercial ice cream has artificial coloring, preservatives, emulsifiers, a lot of nasties in even chemicals. Okay, so when you make your own homemade ice cream, you know that everything is 100% natural, and you can control even the sugar for those of you who want sugar-free ice cream. So you don't need to put any sugar at all. Okay, so I hope you will try this recipe, and I'll pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. All right. Hi, I'm Ezrin. Good morning, everyone. Okay. So today I'll be cooking Asam ladies fingers. Okay. So this is from our latest cookbook. Okay. It's called One Pot Wonders. All right. So what we need is garlic. Okay. We need a bit of belacan, some shredded asam keping, some chili padi. Okay. Oil, obviously, to fry. And then we have basil leaves, chili. Here is a mixture of fish sauce, sugar, and water. And our star ingredient is the lady's finger. Okay, so we're gonna start. Firstly, we have to chop this garlic and belacan. So 2 garlic and belacan is about half teaspoon. Okay, just put all in. And then we are going to chop for 5 seconds and speed 6. Okay. So once you hear the sound, means it's ready, and it will automatically unlock. Okay. So I'll just show you. Okay, now we want to scrape down because we are going to saute after this. All right. So before that, we have to add the shredded asam keping. Okay, this is about 3 asam keping and 2 chili padi chopped as well. So just put everything in. And now we need the oil. Okay, the oil is 20 grams and your Thermomix has a built-in scale. Okay, so you just scroll to this side and you press the scale and we need 20 grams. Okay, so the scale is very accurate in 1 gram increment. Okay, so if you can see there, you see, yeah, okay. So it's very accurate. So if I'm not cooking like this, I'll just take my bottle of oil and just pour it straight like this, okay? So you don't have to waste any time. Okay, so now we are going to saute for 5 minutes. Temperature is 120 and speed is spoon, okay? Spoon is the first stirring speed, which is the slowest stirring speed. Okay, so now I want to talk a bit about oil, okay, cooking oil. Can you type in the chat and let me know what cooking oil do you use when you cook? Okay, is it your sunflower oil? Is it coconut oil? Is it olive oil? Okay, can you type in the chat? Okay, sunflower oil, all right. Okay, so before I got my Thermomix, all my cooking, I was using olive oil because in my mind, olive oil is very good. It is a very, very good oil, okay, but it has a low smoking point, okay, so I didn't know that. So when you cook on the fire traditionally, okay, the temperature goes up to 200 degrees and it keeps on going up and it's something that you cannot control, okay, and if you see here Thermomix, you can see there's the temperature dial. It will tell you what temperature is at. So right now it's at 95 and it keeps on going up. But it's because we set it at 120, it will not go past 120. Okay, once it reaches 120, it will stay there. And this is very good for all our cooking because it will not burn your oil. Okay, so if you cook on the fire, when it's too hot, okay, your oil becomes toxic, especially olive oil. Okay, so if you are using olive oil on the fire to cook, please change to a different oil or get your Thermomix and use all your olive oil in here. Okay, because when you cook with overheated oil, you will also burn all the nutrients in your ingredients. So it's very sayang if, especially you buy organic veggie, okay, you buy the greenest, healthiest veggie, but you cook on the fire, and with overheated oil, all your nutrients are gone. Okay, in the restaurants, what they do is they usually blanch in hot water and then they fry. So when you blanch in hot water, you burn, as in you burn half the nutrients away. Okay, and then you fry on the wok, and then you burn the other half of the nutrients. So it's very, very rugi. So they have to add MSG, they have to add a lot of flavoring to give you that very delicious taste for the veggie. But if you cook at 120 degrees, you get to taste the natural taste of the veggie. You'll be surprised, it's actually sweet. Okay, especially like broccoli, your carrots is very, very sweet. But when we cook on the fire, sometimes you don't really taste this, and then you have to add your oyster sauce, you have to add salt, a lot of flavoring. Okay, so when you get a Thermomix, you have to try and cook your veggie in your Thermomix and taste the beautiful taste of veggies. Okay, so traditionally, if you cook this kind of dish, okay, if you put your garlic and your belacan, okay, and your asam keping and your chili, can you go out lunch or dinner after that? You don't want to, right? Because you probably be smelling like belacan and all. But with Thermomix, because of this low heating, you will not be smelling like belacan. You can straight away still look good and go out for your lunch and dinner, okay? Because you're not burning anything, so there's no toxic fumes coming out from here, okay? Everything, if you see anything coming out, is just vapor, all right? And if you have to blend something, you will have to use your blender, right? And then after that, you have to fry on the wok, so you have your wok or your kuali. Okay, so you have to wash two different things there. But with Thermomix, everything happens in one bowl, so that you can just wash one bowl. And even then, we have our pre-cleaning mode, which is fantastic. Okay, so after you finish cooking, all you have to do is just put water halfway and then a few squirts of detergent, and then you can choose 4 modes. Okay, so you can choose dough after you make your dough, and then universal. So this is considered as universal. And then there's a third one is caramel and fats, and the last one is browning. Okay, so it will heat up the water accordingly so that they wash your bowl thoroughly. So that you just have to go and throw the water, just give it a light rinse, and you can straight away cook your next dish. But if you're done for the day, rinse, and then make sure you remove the blade like Pimping showed just now, and give it a good wash around the blade, and then let it dry, and then put it back on. Okay. Okay, so what I usually do is at the end of the day, I buka, I wash properly, and I let it dry, and then in the morning, I will put it back together. Okay, so we have about 30 seconds to go. So here we have some basil, okay, chili. If you don't like pedas or even the chili padi just now, you don't have to put 2, you can put 1, or even you don't want to put, is fine as well. Okay, so other than that, we also have high temperature. You can also do browning, okay, and you can also do your own lollipop and your caramel. Okay, caramel on the fire, if you try, it's not easy to make. Okay, I've done it twice, 3 times because of the constant temperature. You need that constant temperature of 170 to get the caramel right. Okay, so that means it's ready. All right, let me show you how it looks like. Okay, so if only you can smell. Okay, it smells really nice. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to add all the rest of the ingredients. So basil leaves, chili, and then this is fish sauce, some sugar, a bit of sugar and water. I think this dish is ala Thai. Okay, don't you agree? It's like basil, asam keping, okay, and our lady's fingers. So this is about 200 grams. Okay, so just add everything in. And now we are going to cook, stir fry for 3 minutes. And 120 again. And now we have to activate the reverse button, and then speed is spoon. Okay, spoon is spin. Okay, so now I activated the reverse button. Just now when we chopped the first ingredient, the garlic, right, and belacan, we were using the sharp side, which is on default. Okay, so now we are stirring our veggie. We must make sure it doesn't cut the veggie. So you need to activate that small little button there. So you are using the reverse button. Okay, so when you cook your meat, your veggie, just make sure, if you cook manually, okay, you just have to make sure you on the reverse button. If you use cookie dough, this reverse button will be activated for you, so you don't have to worry. Okay, all you have to do is just turn the speed to start. Okay, so here it's considered as soft veggie. That's why we are cooking for 3 minutes. Okay, so if you cook something like broccoli or carrots, you want to cook it for 4 minutes. If you have kids or you have elderly, okay, you can cook for 4.5 minutes. Okay, so depending what veggie, if leafy greens, usually about 3 minutes. Okay, so now I'm going to pass on the screen to Olivia to continue, okay, with her second dish. Okay, see you guys later. I will show the ready product later. Thank you.
안녕하세요. So today I'm going to share a recipe which is the Korean spicy chicken stew. Okay, so right now MCO, I'm sure some of you are watching a lot of Korean drama. So today I'm going to share a Korean dish with you. So this spicy stew, it is so easy to make and it's unbelievable, right? So I have here some free-range chicken chopped. Okay, I have sesame oil and soy sauce here. Okay, water, and then I have yellow onions, chopped carrots, potatoes, and also green chili as well. And the star ingredient for this dish is called the gochujang hot pepper paste. Okay, so this is the star ingredient. You can get it from Jaya Grocer, Village Grocer. Most of the supermarkets, most of the major supermarkets in town will have this, okay? And also some of the Korean supermarkets as well. So, okay, so you can get these from the Asian stores as well. Okay, so it looks like this, all right? So for those of you who have young children, and because it is, I wouldn't say it's very, very spicy, but if you want something which is non-spicy, you can go for the bean paste. So it also looks like this, but it's in a brown color box, and it states bean paste. Okay, so that is for non-spicy, for those of you who do not like spicy. Okay, but if I don't put a lot, it's actually quite okay, okay, quite mild, right? So this is a very simple recipe, and I have also some chopped garlic. Okay, so I've actually chopped garlic beforehand. Okay, and it's only 5 seconds to chop the garlic. All right, so all I need to do is place all the ingredients in. So the water, the sauces, everything all in. Okay, onions, potatoes. Okay, and then the chicken, the sauces, and this hot pepper paste. Okay, and I like this recipe because you do not need to pre-marinate. You can just weigh everything, prepare all the ingredients, and it's just it. Okay, so all I need to do is now cook this dish for 15 minutes, all right, at 120 degrees. So 15 minutes. (120 degrees). So for general cooking with the Thermomix is 100 to 120 degrees. Okay, and next is using the reverse mode, because you want to use the blunt side of the blade so that it does not chop the chicken for you, right? And next is, if you see the icon here, it's a spoon, which means it is using slow stir mode. So it's actually stirring for you. So remember, when you do not want your food to be chopped when you're cooking your meats, it's always the reverse and the slow stir mode. Okay, so it's very easy to use. So what I'm doing now is the manual mode. Okay, manual way of cooking. So for those of you who are great cooks, you can actually improvise your own recipes and just adjust the time, temperature, and the speed. So it's very easy to use. Okay, and for those of you who need some cooking inspiration, go to the Cookie Do. We have more than 60,000 recipes, and the recipes from time to time, the recipe development department will actually add in more recipes. Okay, so we have 66,000 recipes now. Okay, and all the recipes in Cookie-Doo is step by step and it's guided. All right. I'll just set this aside. Okay, so next, a lot of chefs, a lot of world-renowned chefs, they actually use the Thermomix in the world, like the master chefs, the Michelin star chefs, and even in Malaysia, a lot of the well-known chefs like Darren Chin from DC Restaurant, he has this in his central kitchen. Natalie's Gourmet, we also have Nobu, and hotels like Ritz-Carlton, they have 5 Thermomix in their kitchen. So a lot of chefs actually use the Thermomix. Okay? And why do chefs use the Thermomix in their kitchen? Is to help them with a lot of things like making sauces, the precise temperature control. Okay, so for example, you can actually adjust from 37 degrees to aroma temperature manually. Okay, so the chefs love to use Thermomix when they need to do sauces, when they need to do soups, even things like, for example, melting butter and chocolate for those of you who bake. Okay, so 50 degrees is the perfect temperature to do that. So all you need to do is place a whole block of butter or chocolate into your mixing bowl and adjust the temperature to 50 degrees. And for those of you who make cheesecake, right, so gelatin, to dissolve the gelatin is at 60 degrees, okay? And to make your perfect sauces without burning, it's 70 degrees. Because traditional way, when you stir over the stove, you're actually stirring and it will actually burn, you know, if you're not physically monitoring your dish, okay? So the chefs love to use Thermomix to do the sauces. And to brew your coffee and tea, the perfect temperature is 80 degrees. So you can adjust to 80 degrees. Okay, and for those of you who like to eat kaya, okay, can we see a show of hands who likes to eat kaya? Can you type in the chat? Who likes to eat kaya? Okay. So we have a lot of kaya recipes. We have pandan kaya, we have gula melaka kaya, we have kaya recipes which can use kampung eggs, duck eggs. We also have durian kaya for those who are durian lovers, okay? And we have pumpkin kaya as well if you want a healthier option. So we have a lot of recipes for kaya, okay? And you can ask from your advisor who has invited you here today, and he or she will share with you. And have you ever made your own kaya? Let's see. Has anyone made their own kaya without Thermomix? Okay, without Thermomix. Yeah. So the traditional way of making kaya is very tedious. Okay, I used to see my grandmother, you know, stirring and slaying over the stove. It's more than an hour just by stirring. Okay. Yeah, and with the Thermomix, one of the first recipes I made when I got my Thermomix was kaya, because I really wanted to make kaya because I know it's just a lot of work, the traditional way. So when I got my Thermomix, one of the first recipes I made was kaya. Okay? And why would you want to make your own kaya? Because when you make your own homemade kaya, you can use the freshest ingredients, okay? And you have 100% natural pandan leaves. You actually blend the pandan leaves in there, and you extract the juice. Everything is all from scratch and it's natural, okay? Because when you buy commercial kaya, it's I mean, like most of the kaya you get out there is probably pandan essence, and it's not the real pandan, okay? And they add sugar. So at home you can even adjust your own sugar, you know. So I use organic raw cane sugar for my kaya, and I use kampung eggs as well. Okay, so this is one of the recipes you must try when you get your Thermomix. Okay. And next is 120 to saute for general cooking, and browning. Okay, so you can also brown meats using the Thermomix. You can also do things like browning shallots, garlic oil. You know, when you want to cook noodles or your dish and you want to add some shallots, some brown shallots, you can actually do it with the Thermomix at 160 degrees. Okay, so we have high temperature mode as well. Okay, so high temperature mode, you can even do things like caramelize. Okay, so at 170 degrees, you can caramelize your onion. You can even do popcorn, okay? So for those of you who are craving for Garrett popcorn, let's see, who likes Garrett popcorn? Let's type in the chat, who likes Garrett popcorn? Okay, my daughter is also waving her hand. Okay, so if you like Garrett popcorn, you can do your own caramel in here, okay? So it's so easy, and you must try to make your own Garrett popcorn at home, okay? So since we are all watching TV at home, the kids are around, I'm sure they'll be so happy to make Garrett popcorn for them. So at 170 degrees, we can also make lollipop, okay? Have you ever made your own lollipop at home? Yeah. So can you share, have anyone made lollipop before? Okay, so with the Thermomix sugar stages mode, you can also make lollipop at home, okay? And next I want to share with you is that you can achieve perfect texture with the Thermomix. You can make your own homemade soups like pumpkin soup. You can even make like beef stew. You can even make like a mushroom soup. Those hotel and the high quality restaurant standard, you can achieve that, okay? So to make a mushroom soup or pumpkin soup, it's only 20 minutes, placing all the ingredients, and the last step is the blending, okay? So with the Thermomix, you blend it at about 1 minute, and you can achieve very, very smooth texture, okay? And also, you can make your own fruit jams. Have anyone made their own jams before at home? Yeah, because when you purchase the commercial ones, fruit jams, it's not 100% fruits. Okay, if you read the ingredients. So when I shop for my jams and all, which I used to, and like tomato sauce and all, I always read the label. Actually, if you look at the label, the fruit content is actually very, very low. Yeah. And it's a lot of sugar, and sometimes there are preservatives in there, because, you know, in order for them to keep for so long, the shelf life, they have to put emulsifiers, they have to put like preservatives in there, okay, so that it can last for at least a year or even 2 years, depending, okay. So when you make your own homemade jams, like strawberry jam, if you have passion fruit, you can make passion fruit jam, you can even make fig jam. So all this jam, green apple jam, pineapple jam, like Chinese New Year is coming very soon. So I make my own pineapple jam with the Thermomix, everything from scratch. And while it is cooking, I can do other things. Okay, I do not need to be stirring, and it does all the job for me, all the blending. So I just need to get the freshest fruits and pop it in there, and then the Thermomix does it for me. Okay, and also homemade yogurt. Okay, so if you have not made your own homemade yogurt, you can actually make your own fruit yogurt. We have a lot of different types of recipes. So for me, I like to use Greek yogurt as a starter. So I get one tub of one small tub from the supermarket as a starter, and then I follow the recipe on Cookie Dough. And I normally do it at night. So the next morning, I get my fresh homemade yogurt, and I just have to keep using the same batch. So after I finish my yogurt, I'll leave at least one tub left so that I can use that as a starter, and then I will continue to make my own homemade yogurt. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed my sharing. Okay, and I will be back to show you my dish. Okay, I'll pass to Sunita now, who will be sharing with you on multi-layer cooking.
Okay, Sunita.
Okay, all right, okay. So today I'm actually making a dish called white tom yum seafood noodles, right? And just before we started, I have in the simmering basket here, we actually have already been boiling this for about 30 minutes. So there is, I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's tomatoes, lemongrass, yellow onions, some galangal sliced, and this has now been making the stock, and also some chili padi. So this has been boiling for 30 minutes now. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you how we do layered cooking in Thermomix. So I'm going to put the cover back on, and I have here prepared, we have what we call our Varoma dish and tray, and I have white pomfret sliced and some prawns on top. So I'm going to put this on, and this is now going to continue steaming for 10 minutes at Varoma temperature, which is the steaming temperature, and we're going to put it on speed 2. Okay, so let me just explain about layered cooking in the Thermomix. So if you wanted to do a quick meal, you can actually cook like a chicken rice, a complete meal of chicken rice by just putting your rice into the simmering basket, put your chicken in this layer below, and your steamed egg on top. And just follow the recipe for the 4-in-1 meal on Cookidoo, and you can have a chicken rice meal completely done in 30 minutes. So layered cooking is very, very easy for people who are in a rush to get a meal ready. So you can have your soup, your rice, your chicken, and your egg all at one go, right? So normally what you would do is you can steam your meat, fish, or chicken in one layer, and then steam your eggs or vegetables in another layer. And then in your simmering basket, you can put either potatoes, pasta, or rice. And the bottom would be your soup, right? So Thermomix layered cooking is very unique in that sense. So you can do, you know, so many different things. And if you go into Cookidoo and you look at multi-layer cooking, you can actually find quite a lot of recipes there as well, all right? So Thermomix helps you to get the perfect temperature every time. So with the TM6, we've got what we call a kettle mold. The kettle mold allows you to boil water to a precise temperature. So for instance, if you are the type of person who likes to buy your coffee beans from Starbucks or your gourmet coffee beans, you can actually grind your coffee beans in your Thermomix, but you can also boil the water to the perfect temperature. Most gourmet coffees recommend a 95-degree temperature, which you would not be able to get if you were boiling it in your electric kettle or on the stove, all right? And for green tea, the perfect temperature is 75 degrees. So all you have to do is put your water into your Thermomix, choose kettle mode, set 75 degrees, and it will stop the minute the water reaches 75 degrees. And you can then use that to brew your green tea. So you get very, very flavorful tea or coffee because you are using the correct temperature for it, right? You also have what we call the slow cook mode now on the TM6. And the slow cook mode is amazing. If you want to do something overnight, you can slow cook up to 8 hours. So even if you were going off to work, you can actually put it on and then have your meal ready when you come back home. So you can slow cook things like beef stew, braised duck, braised lamb shanks, or even your red bean soup. I made pulut bubur hitam the other day, and I just put it on slow cook for 2.5 hours, and it was perfectly done in 2.5 hours. And I don't have to stir, I don't have to watch it. So it was amazing, right? So we have the slow cook mode. You can also make your own cheese and yogurt. And I always make my yogurt in the Thermomix using the fermentation mode, because I can put it straight away into my little jars and ferment it. And then the next morning, I just take it and put it in the fridge. So I set it to do it overnight at about 10 o'clock. And in the morning by 6, 7 o'clock, it's ready, all right? You can also make, for the Indians who are on here, you can make your own paneer, which is cottage cheese. You can actually make your own paneer in the Thermomix as well, right? TM6 also has another fabulous function called Sous-Vide. So you can do a lot of Sous-Vide dishes without having to spend an arm and a leg on a special Sous-Vide instrument, right? So you can do Sous-Vide in your Thermomix, and I'm sure your advisor would be happy to show you how to do that, all right? So basically the benefits of cooking with a Thermomix, right? It is really quick and easy, as you would have seen with what Ezrin did and what Olivia did and what I'm doing now. Pretty much no sweat, right? It's also, everyone can cook. For those of you who have young children, you can teach them how to use the Thermomix, because with the guided cooking on Cookie-Doo, it's really, really easy, because they can just follow the steps. If you help them to prep the ingredients, they can follow the steps and they can do guided cooking. It's very healthy because, as Adrian mentioned, we also have perfect temperature control, so your foods do not lose all their nutrients. You can say goodbye to cooking fumes. I'm actually cooking in my dining room, and you can see my living room in the background. So there's absolutely no fumes, and I don't have to worry at all, right? So you can cook with your Thermomix anywhere. You save space on appliances because Thermomix has about 20 functions in one appliance. So one appliance does it all. We also have auto cooking and auto washing, which is basically your Cookie-Doo, and then the pre-clean function, which helps you to clean no matter what sort of cooking you've done in your Thermomix, right? So we just have another 3 minutes to go. I'm going to hand it over to Olivia to show you her dish first, and then we will come back and I will show you the next step of my dish. Olivia?
It's not ready yet.
Oh, okay. How many minutes do you have on yours?
Maybe you can go to me.
Okay, we'll go to Ezrin and show her dish that's done.
Okay, hi everyone. Okay, so the lady's finger, Asam lady's finger is done. Okay, if you can see, it's really nice. Okay, it's looking vibrant. It smells really good. So you want to try this recipe when you get your Thermomix, okay? Because try and cook as much as you can at home. Because I also last time used to order a lot of food, like delivery from Foodpanda and all that. But you don't know, you cannot control what kind of ingredients they use, okay? Whether they wash the ingredients properly or not. And you don't know what kind of oil they use. They probably, you know, it's possible that they use recycled oil or oil that is already overheated. So you want to control all this, because especially if you cook a veggie, right? You eat veggie because it has like the most nutrients. So you want to try and cook a lot at home. And Thermomix will make it so easy. Okay, so my bowl is also washed already. I already did my pre-clean mode. Okay, so after this, I'm just going to cook my rice, okay? And yeah, so make sure you try this dish. If you want the recipe, just ask from your advisor after the show, okay? So I'll pass to Ping Ping.
So I have 1:30 to go on my steaming of the fish and the prawns. So just a good reminder, when you are steaming something on your varoma dish or varoma tray, make sure you don't cover all the holes on your varoma dish or tray. So the fish that I have, the whole white pomfret, is actually sitting on a very low civet, so that it allows the steam to come through to both the layers, all right? Because otherwise you will find that your food does not get steamed properly, and it doesn't get cooked, and then you might have to end up extending the steaming time, right? So we're going to show you how it looks. So we're almost done. Just 30 seconds to go.
Sunita,
Yes.
to save time, just show them the dish as it is in the varoma, and then later just pass it to me while you take your time to plate it out.
Sure.
And then we will come back to you after the plating.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, so when you open your varoma dish, make sure you open it away from you so that you don't get steam, and you can use your varoma lid as a trivet. So this is the prawns that have been steamed, and the fish is also nicely done inside. So I'm going to remove this, and when you remove your simmering basket, use your spatula. It has a hook at the back. Use your spatula to lift it out. Okay. And now I'm just going to put in my mihun, which has been soaking for a short while. So it's 200 grams. If you're using the A1 mihun, it's 4 pieces, but I'm doing 5 because I've got a big family. There's enough soup in there. And then we're going to put in a mixture of lime juice and fish sauce, and also some kaffir lime leaves. The recipe actually calls for shimeji mushrooms, but my family likes enoki, so I'm just going to dump in the enoki mushrooms inside. And this is just going to cook now for 3 minutes. So we're going to set it to cook for 3 minutes. And we're going to put it on 100 degrees. Reverse. Make sure to put the reverse on. You don't want all your mihun chopped up. And spoon. All right. So now we'll go on to cooking.
Okay, hi, I'm back. As we are sharing cooking, I was actually doing some cooking myself as well in the kitchen with my Thermomix. Something that I think you all noticed, everyone who cooks with the Thermomix today, we actually do not need to stand beside it. And at the same time, even though we are beside the machine, we are not actually attending to stirring. We are happily sharing, chatting with all of you together. And this is what you can really enjoy when you start to use the Thermomix at home. So do get your hands on the Thermomix, wonderful benefits. Whether you want Thai food, Korean food, it's there ready for you. And when you talk about the recipes that we tried today, actually we just got the cookbook last week. We haven't even tried the recipe, but because of Thermomix cooking, you could conquer any recipe, anytime, easily, all right? So how do you start to own a Thermomix? We actually have the full payment option or the financing. So full payment now, we do still have the 200 ringgit voucher running. You can enjoy this immediately when you put in your purchase with your advisors and immediately enjoy the 6,988 price. So now you could also foresee that the company is actually looking at moving the price to 7,188 soon, okay? So do get your hands on the Thermomix before they do so. And of course, at the same time, we have the financing. I actually started to own my Thermomix using the financing way. It is interest-free. make it very easy for all of us to own one. And you can go for 24 months, right? Just go for it. After all, it's interest-free, working out to only 291 ringgit a month and 9 ringgit a day. Can you imagine how can you use 9 ringgit a day now in the market or when you go out in Malaysia? What can you do with 9 ringgit a day? Right now, with the Thermomix 9 ringgit a day, you can actually cook 3 meals, 5 meals, wonderful, healthy home cooked meals for your entire loved ones. Whether you want to do it 7 days a week, 30 days a month, 365 days of healthy cooking for only 9 ringgit a day. I mean, this is really the most valuable thing that I've ever spent my money in. And for 9 ringgit, seriously, is really worthwhile. And at the moment, because Chinese New Year is around the corner, we want to give you the best. It also comes with whether you are going for full payment or financing. We have the purchase and hosting gift for you. 2 items in purchase and hosting, which is the 1 liter mini server. This is how it looks like. It's very cute and very useful, high quality server. 1 liter in size. You could use this for salads or your ice cream. You know, you can have this in the freezer as well. It can either be hot or cold. And because it's insulated, you can also keep your food hot for a few hours. So you could warm this up with hot water, put your rice inside, and you'll keep your rice warm for a while. So when you can then relieve your Thermomix to cook other things, okay? So this is a wonderful server. Together with the other item, it is a 1-year cookie dough subscription. All right, 18 months actually, to be exact, 18 months, 1.5 years cookie dough subscription worth 150 ringgit. Plus this server is 390 ringgit worth of gift for you when you place your order now. So the current promotion ends tomorrow night. So do get in touch with the advisor who has invited you here today and start to cook with the Thermomix. Of course, when you get your Thermomix, when you place the order for your Thermomix, this cookbook comes together in the box. So I have this is the Chinese version. You can opt for the English version. You have 2 choices. So, you know, please let your advisor know which is your preferred choice. These cookbooks are available online in our Cookie Dough platform as well, where you can load it in your Thermomix. But for a physical copy, you can opt for either Chinese or English. Okay? And at the same time, once you have started to own your Thermomix, some may be worried about, hey, how do I get started? Don't worry, we will walk the journey with you. You have a one-to-one personal session. Now that we are all locked down, you can also have a one-to-one personal video session with your advisor, and where we will guide you to how to start cooking, how to care for your Thermomix, that it lasts for the next 15, 20 years of your cooking lifetime. All right, so how wonderful is that? The other thing I would like to share about, I'm very passionate in this job because with the Thermomix, I could actually bring about healthy cooking to every home, and I felt it is a very meaningful career. Right? I myself was just like you, an audience who watched the Thermomix, love it, started using it, felt it's a wonderful product to bring to every home. And I started to embark on it. I was from IT and it's not about cooking, but now I am full-time in Thermomix for 10 years. So if I can do it, you can too. It will be a very meaningful career. And the best part is you work at your own pace, you work at your own time, right? You have flexible time and you mingle among with friends and families who love to cook, thereby bringing you to even more recipes to explore, okay? So if you are interested in the Thermomix career, please let your advisor know. We will have a separate engagement session with you to discuss the details pertaining to a partner program. All right? So would you recommend the Thermomix to your friends? After seeing what we've done today, we did the shaved ice with, which is the peanut butter crush ice. And then we also did the ladies' fingers. Okay, so with the ladies' fingers, you have the idea, oh, I can also cook nyonya food. I can also cook curry. You know, today we do vegetable. Next day you can do it with meat. Yes, you can. And then you have Olivia shared, what did she share today? She said Korean chicken, yeah? Korean food is possible. And then Sunita shared Thai food. Wow, what wonderful breadth of recipes that you can actually get your hands on. So do let your friends know. You might have friends who are busy professionals like what I used to be. And because of you, your sharing, now they can cook for their family. And how wonderful is that, right? Or perhaps friends who always buy organic food, but cooking the wrong way and burning all the nutrients. This is really something they need to know. So bring them here. We have cooking shows every week. Okay? Or friends who has children who wants a variety and always find it a chore, spending hours and hours in the kitchen. Please share these words with them. Hopefully with this, they can have a better quality of life and also have better bonding sessions, quality sessions with their loved ones, children, husbands, that they don't need to be spending hours sweating in the kitchen, okay? Elderly or sometimes your friends who are going through certain recovery, if they can eat well and healthy, that would help them to recover better, build their immunity, especially now. Please let them know. All right, so we welcome all your friends. Every Saturday, we have a cooking show, and it's in English. If your friends who prefer Chinese language speaking, we have it on every Wednesday. So do reach out to your advisor. Your advisor will be sending all these invites to you, but do let them know you're the friends joining us and let them know their interest, that we are able to explain further details targeting to what they need, that they are able to learn more and find out how the Thermomix is able to assist them at home. All right, so without spending more time here explaining, do get your hands on the Thermomix. I would like to spotlight Sunita for her wonderful cooking and also Olivia's presentation of Korean chicken. All right, so stay tuned. Just a moment. Let me switch them over. Right, Sunita.
So that's your so it's really, really smelling really, really good. So my family lunch is ready. This is enough to serve 5 people. On to Olivia. Let's see what hers looks like.
Can you imagine buying that dish, spending that money in a Thai restaurant for what Sunita has created today? It'll be very pricey. Yeah? Serving 5, it's a really large portion. And now you can do it at home with the most authentic ingredients and spices. I cannot imagine how nice the flavor would be. You're right there with Sunita. I'm sure you really be wanting to get your hands on a recipe on the dish. Okay.
Okay, my Korean spicy stew is ready, and this is going to be my lunch. So all I need to do is just cook a vegetable and rice, and I can serve together with this. So I hope you try this recipe. All right, kamsahamnida. Thank you so much for joining.
Okay. I'm actually because I noticed there is inquiry about the promotion. Okay, so this is the current promotion, which is the server. And you'll see the flip chart here. All right. So there is the server and also a 1-year cookie dough voucher that comes together for the current purchase. Okay. So this promotion ends tomorrow night. So if you love, it's more about having to cook well for your family than anything else. All right. So do get your hands on the Thermomix soon and start to cook for your family healthy meals, for your entire family for a lifetime. So am I clear on the promotion? And if you're going for a full payment, you can also have a choice of an additional cookbook. Okay. So we will share the choices that you can go for. So call your advisors, contact them, and arrange for the Thermomix before we run out of stock. Okay. So we hope that you get more friends to join us. with you. It inspires us to cook more and to share more. All right, so do get your friends. And in the meantime, I wish all of you a wonderful weekend with your families. All right, till next time. See you again next week. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.